Yeah, sorry guys. I don't know. Madam from the life from the Yeah. Hi guys, I don't know. Madam from the life from the because somebody called me. We're in the life in Kuntu, you know. Yeah. So guys, 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 is about the Ministry of Information. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 Ministry of Information. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 is about Ministry of Information. The kibarul miliyaron ko norla suru nanjela karola. Ibe cool mil kekan, ibe ferol melto. Ka Gambia na fulota ka talanyo temodro. Ibe ferol mil kekan to create businesses among themselves because yalon loko Baroda time is almost coming to an end. So some of the things of the main thing I mean, left a Kanaka all for Gambian Kuri. Now, farm local last week, Minister of Information and Broadcasting under Minister Dr. 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒍. Now, farm local, he left the creating an app. They call Disinformation and Misinformation Center. They call it Lokana Welo. But that disinformation and misinformation, that misinformation and disinformation center, I understand any more deal can the person have already created the app. So he left a program into ka single source, ka single handed cigar, ka dio mali now. That is what exactly they want. They want a single source to an individual. Il a plaka asika purka dio wala purgo damai purgo ko yinta. Ya samba Minister of Information. Sorry, ya samba GPPA, Gambia Procurement, Gambia Public Procurement. Kabili ya samba je. Wala na attend loko no at a single source la no. Wala attend loko at a single source la no. They have to tender it. They have to publish it. Yeah, publish pour molbe nyaade. That is what wali wala foi. Wolko ko al nyanda kam dula aliya publicize. I got public tendered. Imagine other companies also can apply. Other companies also can apply. Or I have a restricted tender. So Niamo is restricted tender, all of you to go. If I'll follow like a company tombo. I'll follow like a company tombo. Maybe let's say company Nani, you're like quotation or someone. If you bring that company now, you're like quotation or someone. La qualification of GB alias Kaliadi Walla. That is one of the ways you can name it. Or restricted tender, maybe Albala tender you mutala in a way may alonko, more millialonko, will ba apply la. Abacolana Buluba, Abacolale Bulbakano. Pusa apply Monyami. But all because they are targeted. It will left a kadi moment na puka meso contract in Medina. So, Kamamole minamu disinformation and disinformation center ni mealo ikobaye la minamu la intentional. Iko because government is doing a lot of issues. Government be do ko jamana kikang, but government efforts ni media buka ufintindi. Iko media buka ufintindi. But what exactly is the main quota? Because there is a bill in the main finance to the parliament, and I believe GPU, Gambia Press Union, is buttoning Kalamale because I understand go you below in detail for another Korea study, but it's daring. So what they want is all in to go. After Kajo go sign, Masakunda do na kawle be lola banko kanjam. Masakunda do na kawbe tonya yala jam. Any kumo fota jam ya lo against the government. Itolu ibo mutala ya wrong. Ibo mutala ya I highlight as a false information. It's like so masakunda do na kawlo ne be lola. Another masakunda e faniafo. Masakunda lo faniala be lola. That is exactly what actually they want. Another masakunda e faniala be lola. But nimbanku dungule tonya ko tonya nyimbe boyle. That is the plan in the main court. That is about the social media bill. The social media bill may along go iba prepare kam put a table before the members of the parliament are the intentional monkey to silence the people. Huh? That is their main intention, huh? Huh? What are main intention? Hamza. That is their main intention. La main intention of Mula Malti. How if a bank do silence no nyami, if a bank do deal no nyami. But again, a better than a baby movement rolling into ko. Can a banko kodo taka suya nyoe, katala nyoe because Baro government is coming to an end. They are coming up with such kind of projects. They are coming up with such kind of projects. Gambia benin tembol science science. Fufu role be care. Fufu role be care in banko kang as we are speaking. But nimbe diamu kang some of the people, especially Mol Melialong control fake wolle karanta. These are the main people. These are the people Melialongo wolle left kanyim banko tardendi. Mol Melialongo. You feel like these people are patriotics. You feel like when you Mol Melialongo, they have love for the country. Be wolle Mol Melialongo. E left ka law kanyim banko tardendi. And I want Gambian people to understand this. Yung mafia ya be, yung corruption women baby caring. Yung tilimba ya men baby caring masakunda kon. Ita nya be wala, but you still want that government to stay in power. Then ita fananda be tilimba ya kon. So, Minister of Information, ilanying Disinformation and Misinformation Center, me ya lonko ilaftaka start, ilaftaka ele, ya sambale to GPPA pour single source. Kasika kabedi mo kilimola. But GPPA atandila lako no at a single source la no, they have to open a tender. So mbesi la no tender button la mbajibela for ba populist la for that populist la whether it's going to be restricted tender or it's going to be public tender. Mbelefle mbesi la ko fona la moy. For bekela pata kela. Neatra for example sign. Because na debitol na sometimes when people talk about debitol lako, you know, yes, and I be like, yeah. I told like a Kodo approved for all these ministries. But your ministerial day, Kodo left a car fundum pantam nyame, car fundum pantam nyame. Ni nata. Even if you don't have the numbers, but we want to hear your voice. We want the world to know what these people are doing. And again, kunu nafujan, $50 to $80 million Alba very soon. Ibo fanantala, iba approve like ko to subvention the media household. $50 to $80 million Italia Fali, Alasafe. Eko kana so-called subvention of the media household. And eko kana minela because they are doing new media accreditation. Ha. Eko kana new media accreditation wala. Kana wala fana. All this one simple ministerial benyon kokoba. Wala Dr. Ismail system the ministerial men ngakon kayaka. That is what is actually happening in this country. Ha, that is what Ismail Sisabe Menyaton Kayakanja. And the ministry Menyaton Kayakam, that ministry is the one Mayalon Kulabin Bill lead camp. The social media bill, this information and misinformation center. And then I am not saying I mean if these things are things Mayalon Banco Marco, this should not happen. but the way they are doing it and the intention why they are doing it. That is my problem. If Neatara, for example, these are things they will benefit the country and it will create fair balance to everyone. I don't mind about that. But the Benin is to silence the Gambian people. The Benin is to embezzle our money. I mean, I want the ministry to come out and say, let them come out and say, disinformation and misinformation, I mean, Fongome Yasama GPP, ya rejected. GPP are rejected. And the GPP advised them, Kafuko, Yamurundi, as a public tender or a restricted tender. The disinformation, the social media bill, right now, GPU, if you ask GPU, they have the bill. But I don't know why GPU is silenced with this bill. Because that bill, the way they made it, I'm telling you, a lot of media houses are going to die. And the new media accreditation they cannot amend is all going to be segregation. They cannot media household reason. The new media accreditation they cannot amend. Accreditation they cannot amend. I am telling you that new media accreditation they cannot amend is going to start about media household segregate. They just want to know. They just want to have few media houses in their hand for those media houses to do propaganda for them. That's all what they want. They are not looking for anything among propaganda. That's all what they want. Propaganda. Using our public money to do propaganda. Using our public money to do campaign. Using our public resources to mislead Gambian people. That is what exactly they're doing. They are not doing anything now, They have no other plan now, to embezzle our money. That's all what they want. When we are talking to Gambians, how we are coming together, people will say, look, but let's call a spade a spade. No fokang, or didn't project Melialongo, who didn't project because never going to get off. If I send the party Melialongo, everybody knows because they have no numbers. But because Melekata, it will left a Kajako, or party will fence secure in the coalition so that they can be members of the parliament in their various areas. But Anatara, for example, it will party owner a coalition or they cannot secure some of those places. It's better than it's not that they love the country. It will left hype. They are not only looking for hype. They are not looking for hype drum. One lie as if we all know where the truth lies. It's time the time will come from the water from you. It is a political party or mayor's election or mayor's election or imam mole on the blood. It is a political party or mayor parliamentary election or imam dibidol no blood. Only few places in the world during the last parliamentary. It is a party or mayor during the last council jang. Council sip me from council sipti. Ya council only few places here council ya. You want to disrespect people. But I told the party, Ibe party mento. What was their agreement with those people? What was their agreement with those people? 2021, what was their agreement with those people? Let's call a spade a spade. It's now time for us to speak. It's a activism. But you don't want to speak the truth. You are only looking at your own personal interest. You don't care about that. But you only want hype. You are a Pan-Africanist. You're telling us coalition is about numbers. But you feel you are an educationist, you are a real activist. I believe you must know the history of coalition all over Africa. Tell me one country all over Africa, may I go in a coalition, small party, I mean a big party and those a small party. If you can give me one country in this world, I can tell you UDP is going to join UDP. But I'm also small parties, a big party to go and endorse small party, wherever, even countries where they go 50 plus, Bangkol Melialong go 50 plus 1, let's call it a spade a spade. I'm not going for you. Ngana Bango Kanoke just no the Bango Kano from the bottom of our heart. Let's love the country from the bottom of our heart. Because we need hype. You think that is good for you. Remember, you are a youngster. if people respect you, respect them. The way you guys speak, we can speak like that. The kind of arrogance in you people, you can also be arrogant like that. You can also be arrogant like that. You can also be arrogant like the way you people have been arrogant. You cannot deal with diable almond ibukalo with diamo fon la jami. But Jumala Bafolo, it is a party momento. It is the party you are not. Come on. Yellow, I don't want to go to that level. But because like that, now let's have a look at the media house, all you have picked wrong, and they will know. I told you I've been a well Banco Doko. You think that is what is Banco Doko? You have to work for it. When do you last to go and engage your people about your party from? It is where you even come from, your world or your village. When was the last time you engaged your village members and talk to them about your party? When was that? When was the time you even engaged in in political activities? You are telling us, when you did coalition, blah blah blah. What are you telling us? But Gambians have to be serious. Look, remember for Gambian ko momo mara mola jang. Anu momo yalo noko, ite killing yalo noko bi banko be batamen ko. So when you didn't project melialonko, the among solar tela, among futu, musutable, fentable, blood change malabo yama, or didn't meron alkali danko. Because Bimba moment gonna be the way this country is. Being Banco Benjamin Bimbeano. It is for a longer be Banco de Tembomen. It is for a longer be the unlawful things so Miliano go live kicking in Banco Kanja. You know the unlawful things, but you still ignore all those stuff. You ignore. You ignore everything. You ignore all those things. Imam Bankoja, but your head, because either you want to be a member of parliament. But even if you want to be a member of parliament, there is a way to do it. Wherever a coalition has to be, it has to be with numbers. Go. Even for example, in that primaries, the winner is going to be the person with the highest number is going to lead the coalition. True or false? So you are already seeing the right numbers there. You want to deny the numbers. You've seen the numbers and you want to deny it. You want to baffle people. I left like a more confusing. I left like a more mislead. We know your intentions. But if that is your intention to Adama Barrow to remain here, let Adama remain. Let Adama remain. And we see who cares. Ni momo intention of multi danko Adama Barrow to jam. Adama Barrow masakunda to jam. All this problem can be for jam. Adama Barrow to jam samong nyaya momo yokota protest letter. Nyaya momo yokota protest letter. When you are the very people who architect division in this country. You think you are no? You think you think who is going to listen to you when you are the architect of destroying unity? But I believe your elders are not going to listen to you. I don't think your elders will listen to the likes of you. Because the way you even talk, none of your elders will talk like that. Yankuba Miller for an interview to may I longer leader soul mawala. Tell me. Because we heard from your leaders. Because they are they are ready for coalition talk, but it has to be this and this and this. That's what exactly your people said. That's what exactly your leaders have said. They were talking about parliamentary. They were talking about, parliamentary seat. They were talking about, cabinet seats. They were talking about, how the coalition is going to be. That's what they will focus. And that is what Yankuba will focus. Our stand is very clear. The left stand is very clear and it's very solid. We are not going to be cowards. Every one of you people in those parties knows the truth. Momo be party, momo be party. With all respect to those parties you are. With all respect to the parties you are. With all respect to the parties you are, wallahi, wallahi. You know very well where the numbers is. But you people are denying numbers. But last mayor's election woman from Kadajang. Atul last mayor's election woman from Kadajang. Atul Malo. Al Molo with blood. Now you want to compete with a political party is in control of almost 4 biggest municipalities in this country. It at local ko le doya. At local wolu bola aton no. At local aton no wole si kamun kaya nyaton kaya kacha. Let us be serious. Let us be serious. Let us be factual. In makuku kala moye factual. Adama du moye to nyafo. Dindimbale muti. When people respect you, respect yourself. Yes, I'm going to one year, you pele kotenke. Yes, I'm going to go to the media, you start being rude. The way you become rude, we can also be rude like the same thing. No, for us, a clue baliano yamal. The first clue baliano yamal. Yes, we can also be rude like that. But I'm on Nefasoto. It doesn't have I'm on Nefasoto. I'm on Nefasoto. I'm on Nefasoto. My dear brother, let's call a spade a spade. Ni moye bunya, ni moye respect. But all the time, they think they have more alpha disrespect la, even more alpha disrespect la, for no reason. Baseless argument. Baseless argument. Collision is all about numbers. And now you see the numbers very well in your bala, you still deny it. You have the academic qualification. It's a you have the academic qualification. You have the love for the country, but you still want to deny the truth. You still want to distort the truth. Imalef Katonya accept. Imalef Katonya accept. The discussion of leadership right now. The discussion is going to be how are we going to do it. But leadership is not something we are not going until we've already set our stand. And each and every Gambians know very well, without UDP in any coalition here, that coalition is not going to make nothing. You all know that. But yet still, because of Jawaya Kama, you still want to make sure, to convince people, because of hatred Kama, you still want to convince people to listen to you people. Alaji Bede. Because of Jawaya Kama, you want to convince people, you want to mislead the people. You have like a more mislead, you have like a more feeling. Because of hatred, because of your personal interest. Because of your personal interest. You can serve this country in many. Look, I have no doubt, you lack the qualification. No. I have no doubt, you don't have the qualification. Yes, you are qualified. But now, what is the benefit of the qualification now? And the family minute. What is the essence of the fight? All what you are fighting all along, you are not seeing anything. Now the only thing, we reach to a level where we should be united. We convince our leaders to accept the truth. Instead of you go and convince your leader to accept the truth, we come together as one family. You still want to, keep us in the same problem. Because when it comes in time of coalition building, you don't look at numbers. You don't look at numbers. If you don't look at numbers, why are you telling us to select numbers and bring them into a primary? Mila tila salta mo leko, nimita primary la, momo nya naka 70 samana, 70 60 or something samana. What's the Mila what? Is that not numbers? Is that not numbers? You telling us to bring numbers, and if we bring numbers again, the person who is going to win there must also a farmer refer numbers samana. Numbers. And you still tell us numbers are not important in coalition building. Majority or minority is not important in coalition building. Hey, majority or minority is important in every coalition building because you will determine who is going to lead the coalition by numbers. What one must understand I better not be I can sing. I better not remember you to go. They pretend they want President Barrow to go out when they are down. If you do my pretending they are against this government because they want to get high. Well, if any one of these people, and they are denying the fact, If any one of them, naturally they have love for this country, wallahi, summa wallahi azim, mukana nyolene. They know where the truth is. Some of them want to write more long, more hype, so that's what they want. But we are not at that position right now, just for somebody to be looking for hype. We are not at that position right now for somebody just to be looking for hype. We are at a situation, let's call a spade a spade. And no matter what funding banko bondino, especially the funding anytime there is protest, we always go out and do the protest. It are protest like year shadow. It are dimba the season show. You do all that because make a banko mother attack on cookie. Now, after 5 years, now we only have 9 months to election. 9 months for us to make decision. Kajako, we have to change it by force. You cannot change it through a gun. You cannot change it through a protest. Nothing. You cannot change anything. We are only doing this protest just to make sure to alert them about the system. That is why we are doing it. Many system, many protest will be come. You know that none of us are doing the protest will be back. Do all the protest killers that you must have will never see them damage. Nim protest killer do it finti. Any protest don't hey it finti. We are all in those protests. In the protest we want to correct the system. Now the system you want to correct, let's come together, no system on your body. But you be the very people, you want to confuse the people. You want to mislead the population for your personal interest. You want to be denying the truth always, continuously denying the truth. Come on, we'll look at numbers. Numbers. Now I'm going to carry the Many members going be at the end of it, we want to go to pool. It's a party of jealous of last presidential election. It's a party of deputy jealous of the last parliamentary election. It's a party of councillor jealous of the last councillor's election. But it's a party of lot of mayor election or let's call it spade. When it comes in time of truth, especially until funding whenever there is protest, we always go out to do protests. Protest. Because of bad system, bad governance, corruption, go to protest. Because of we want to sabati, truth sabati. Rule of law, left away sabati. That is our fight. But that rule of law, you always want to bend that. Tell me, what is more democratic? What is more democratic than an election? Tell me. What is more democratic than an election? An election results. An election data, you are in denial of that. Do you think you will achieve anything? Election results so you are in denial of that. Let's call a spade a spade. Last presidential election, Jumale Sokonta, who was the B Naba Nyama if oppositions are ready. Because 50 plus 1 month of the jam. Naba Nyama in a serious country, all the opposition will just get into the bigger opposition and fight against the incumbent. And fight against the incumbent. Let's call a spade a spade. Naba Nyama B. I'm gonna need what primary retirement. It's a matter of us to come together, we discuss how we the kind of governance we the Gambian cola. That's all what we have to do. That is all what we have to do. But not come we all know from the last presidential election, the so-called results who was the runner-up? Now 50 plus 1 then in Bangkok Kanjam. 50 plus 1 50 plus 1 let's call a spade and we have love for the country, not just only looking for hype. Not just only looking for hype. Senegal jang, Pastef no jang, right now jang, Senegal, Pastef le motombo ya London. Other political parties come and join. They call it a Jomai coalition. Do you ever had them going for any primary? Because they know Bankobe Lebulo, they know the situation of Bankobe Diamento. That is why they call them patriotics. That is why they command the patriotics. If we have love for our country, Allah lo tonya fe, Allah lo hak fe, tonya hak. Wallahi azim, lilo tonya fe na nafabe woloto. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a spade a spade. But kukili zofali. ni al balanta toñala al balanta toñala ala subhanahu wa ta'ala dolbe ala ta'ala le mital solo dolbe ala ta'ala mital solo but yawmal qiyamati momo ti alon ne yem men ki yaki intersono men kama yawmal qiyamati ala be momo click ala be dolbe clean kitindila ala be momo clean kitindila of what you have put under the Gambian people. The denial, ye Gambian called Balimenna. Alebe momo clean George Lala. Because of your emotions, because of you don't believe in truth, because of your personal interest, ye Gambian called Samba Kukurundina. Ala for the ning alman tankala, ning atara al yeban tonyala, alman tonya fasa, anabalo stira nyim banko kanjang. For the 5 years, all the difficulty Gambian called in the conference Mari along ko ila hako bijele. Because you are the people along labor architect. So that's why whenever I see some of these young people talking, and these people say they are educated, and I be like, what kind of why you live in a karam? You live in a karam. Ita karantale. Inyabe tonyala. But you still want to deny it. But your mayor Alonko right now, without doubt, is having 200,000 votes lying down. Without doubt. But your mayor Alonko right now is having 200,000 votes without doubt. But your mayor Alonko with them 100,000 from Soda. But your mayor Alonko with them 50,000 votes from Soda from the last presidential election. It go to but your mayor Alonko is having 200,000 votes. It go be a condition about who is going to lead them. Let's call a spade, buddy. What is more democratic than that? What is more democratic than that? Kajako, me democrat, betonyale follow nyoe. Betonyale follow nyoe. Nimman tonya follow nyoe, betana mini saran lela. Betonyale follow nyoe. Go, last presidential election. Petiol Meya Lonko, among even 50,000 votes for Mosoto. With all respect. We respect them, we respect, even after they have even 10 votes, we still respect them. Another country, they respect, because they have used their time to put a campaign, okay, more than we respect that. But sending that on the coalition, the Amon Bola for Kanjang, for another Kamuluta Koma. Nale Muluta Koma, a quite alama, Billah, inshallah, Aladanilla. More Muluta Koma, more be a coma, Alma Ale Bondi Koto. Alma ale bondi koto ale nyatul di fenna mi alon ko to nyaabe wol te ko fo mole to nyaabe damen alma ale dindi wol to nyaabe damen hakbe damen alma ale dindi wol bar ku kilin sofo isa jawya beke isa balamba ya beke ale men safi wonata bayla ale men safi wonata bayla bi iznillah to balanta wo imam balawo ale ya safi la belari anata bayla ba ala fana ko sa se be nyama jama momo e katoke be o katola ke kam dol be kato nyina ke kam ba wallahi ala sa ala e ben sa be o be larna already ndol mu katala leti be katola ke kam dron pon ka menjin ala bul pour ayke bo ala man jom fana yamar nyina yel si e bul la nyokam wala na farla sallu lol nata wala na sungul nata wala na makatal nata wala na don nata go alama jongoda yana dunya kono kasi ke bulo la jokam alama jongoda ko alama jongoda ko alama jongoda ko ala jongoda men kam wala minti ko membe mari na fala ye baraw kam. That's why mugasi shul kono nga fintin kata njin rola ba Gambian ko lu ngam fale Gambian ko biñim banko bi takam bata men kono biñim banko be toro men kono ñim banko be toro men kono ñim banko be bata men kono alim fongo jibe bal dan alim fongo jibe. Let's look at ourselves. Alim fongo jibe ba Allah jawya bula Allah jawya bula mbadi mulu Allah jawya bula mbal dan ali Allah jawya bula Allah jawya bula alin la jaw ya bula na bula tonya noma alla song ala la ke ko la alla song ala la ke ko la alla bula tonya noma tonya be dami do be ya long bari be balanding tonya be balanding hakla tonya me ya long ko tonya me ya long ka larine moti there is no doubt about it. Alcoholita conventional, alcoholita primary Islam. But in the primary Islam, yesterday we are talking about numbers. Are you telling us now, let's do a national primaries? Banco Dingo Be Kartofai, who is going to lead the opposition? I left all. Except if you want that. Banco Dingo Be Kartofai, Banco Dingo Be vote. But B, another time, we do an online voting, B, about Gambia, online voting. Who is going to lead the coalition? Online voting. It is all clear to you people that UDP is going to win. UDP is going to win. But quickly, and we need to be very clear to each other. I say this and I will repeat this again. Najim follow anumba follow kotankel. Niafo. They always want kalaf kefan yinan de kununda. Hey Nat. Let's call a spade. Nat me along go bafoka. We all know Nat. Mileketa Nat. Hey, coalition 2016. Let me explain to you people one thing. Hello, I don't know what you told for any idea. What if it's a funny half? I don't know coalition 2016. Because of UDP number no. Now your coalition 2016. Adam Barrow a Ganyeta at the convention. Do you know why? My Ahmad Fati like delegation UDP call them. But we have to look at the environment. Those parties were just here, but they did not have any followers. There was no activity. Those parties were here. My party delegation will be UDP supporters solely. Go and PDOIS member form with PDOIS. PDOIS the delegate soul phone will phone the cut of the UDP. PDOIS member PDOIS. In a delegate soul, you cut out the UDP la. I remember in a delegate soul, I know them. We cut out the UDP because we campaigned them. B, Nico party, you bring 70 people here. Alonko, for example, each of these parties, il a 70 people and you cannot bend them. There is no amount of campaign. There is no amount of campaign. And all of them, we know what's their intention. Out of the 22 political parties, I think about 7 political parties, they will suspend them because they don't meet the terms and conditions. They don't have the terms and conditions. So we have to be serious about this. We need to be serious about this. Nankara nanda nyo atakola. Amon nafasiro. Yalo, imagine someone na message yale moyon ko radio la kunyo ko UMC gala bijam. Left tele pro I mean left UMC gala na radio left pro ni diam. Left tele pro prefer contribute. Nga go no UMC will man register for ni register tabina diam le ko. Nga ni IEC register lo men. Wolo national debate. Yes. Mon kumaya. Tout le monde kumaya ko. Alin la ñoo ma koy. Do especially ndol funding kewol alin kana son moliye na nan kan yen hakilo tinya. Alin kana son wala. The higher number of population in this country are being youth solid. The highest number of population of this country are being funding 60% or 60% plus in banko dingol are being funding kewol. The funding will be into level they will play with our minds. They will start to entice us, give us money, giving us positions. 9 years, President Barrow Menke. This 9 months, President Barrow be just to baffle funding. just ka funding kewol just because mu nekk I don't know funding kewol lele number be funding kewol la. So President Barrow and his cabal, they will do almost everything for ka funding kewol ta ke convince the youth of this country. Ka funding kewol ta ke convince. That's what they want. But for funding kewol, are you going to allow yourself the so-called small parties, basically, they know clearly, they might not be even qualified at the IEC nomination. But yet still, because what is their intention? They want to see UDP down. Some of them. What are their intention? Because UDP, they are boycott. They don't want to see UDP government. But one thing I am telling you, the youths of this country, they move funding called the country move funding and many people, especially in Melbourne, these are my young boys, these are my friends, these are my comrades. These are people, man, I pull with them every time. That is why I am talking to them. For them to really understand the future of this country. Ndolmandula so alen tol ni bonyum bankola alen kana so molien nene alen kana so happy nene na kuma kamulu almalo kuma kamudo be kafo ido der kuma kamonyi abe fenet nyakal an la kedar la din kana ke tinya la. Like I said, for me, those who even went to UMC, I'm going for them. There are few people, I am going for those people and I will bring them, inshallah. There are few people who will tell UMC, I am going to go for them and bring them back to UDP because we want a united force. I will go for them. The reason why I'm taken because I feel like they have to be part of the change. Because that place will never effect any change. And UMC betembo mo gonna sunguti ya balawala, but they know they are poor, they know they are dole. They am saying dole, they remember sunguti ya balawala. Even though I feel the sunguti ya balawala, they know the truth. But that is why, you know what? Now make careful, some of them will just go to NPP. Then you find it. Some of them will go to NPP, Intelligent Valley, NPP down. You will not, don't be surprised. I know what I'm telling you. Don't be surprised. Yes, I mean, for me, I have been pressing President Barola development, not today. It's a, I mean, come on. President Barola is not doing work. He's working. He's working. But now that President Barrow do kola, if President Barrow is actually working for the citizens, Fontol right now, but feel kind into our life or not. That is the bigger 𝒂𝒄𝒒𝒏. Yes, President Barrow is still do kola, but do you know Gambian called the folk and every kilometer me allow President Barrow na lamol ko ba do kola. How much money we are losing? Do you know that? How much money we are losing? This is the bigger 𝒂𝒄𝒒𝒏, and each and every one of us need to ask ourselves. The amount of loan coming President Baronata, your loan mental within 9 days, if you have to give him another 5 years, what is going to happen? Let's try to understand. We are the future leaders of this country. Let us not just look at our personal interests, but let's look at collective interest, national interest. National interest, and be national interest. We should be the people, we should go to our leaders, tell our leaders how they are going to form a corporation. And how they are going to form a corporation. No, the near UMC, I'm about to scale down about UMC because what I know, many of them will end up being an MPP. Yeah. If you listen to Yahya, that's where you'll understand the conclusion. Many of them will end up being at NPP. One, you will see the way they are criticizing the government. You can understand it. Many of them will end up being there. Even their leader might end up being there. I'm telling you this. And I know the reason why that's going to happen, because there is a discussion also going on in their area. Because the reports are coming out very soon. You either join me or I block you. Yes, you either join me or I block you. That's how dictatorship is built. Dictatorial Bill Walter. Dictatorial Bill Walter. Dictatorial Bill Walter. You either join me or I block you. That's how dictatorship comes. Dictatorial Kanawanga. So
Mr.
it's high
Sonko.
time. The Gambia funding Joel. Nim protest kila janto la ka findi protest la. Nim tiyaro kila janto la ka findi. Nim banko be studio so men kono bi ndolem. So they advise men di la ora o le go. My fellow youths, comrades. My fellow youth comrades, please. Allah, the differences need Allah put aside the focus. Let's put our differences aside and get focus. Nakarana unite for the purpose of this country. This elders, Ali Basala is already an old man. Alai Usenu is already an old man. Uncle Sidia is already an old man. Uncle Swab is already, an old man. All these people are elders. They have done their time. Let us not allow anybody to baffle us. Yes, that's it.
Ayo, ini bare ko nyade.
Man.
Ngai ifana nimbe jibe kanka jakal lanka funko bayo la muso dungo aka you understand a feel because ibuka wato so rete ni haji swana dog wolem de. So bare abemu amu banku koldi ama banku kelo abe dino fangala kono alma ale al joa alla katakuala.
Thank you.
Ibe men fokanteng people are with you UMC la kuo abalafa warta.
Yeah.
Bare kataka kuo be kungo mendi walenko Gambia bi harma dingol Gambia ikanje Gambia bake a hasidi akasia because ndolbe alone ko separate ni latest survey menkete momo nyanda kela stand lonne African ol betenne itoli ne ko itoli hanna tra separasman even ni pulling fonke political party dol fong yalo ne ko itoli political party lole but they are not going to win. Ite UDP danola cartel, ite NPP danola cartel. So the best thing is narambe banko la soto banko be nyame ite mira le fon kongole be mira la merol men kata na call to anina pabi rol men ka fa wulo kono all year round. Ibuka fen soto. Nte mira la wala kuola bang coalition anywhere in the world. Nte ka nyinje Gambia damale wala nkai moy Gambia ni watin kono kaje ko. Waramai nala domane this is simple maths. 1 plus 1 is 2. It is very, very easy all around. Even Germany Germany is 50 plus in an election. But the first round of banda, then Molial and Jumala winter, then for the parliament and everything, ikata, they make a coalition. SPD ni CDU wala ka coalition okay mainly here in Germany. In a very, very better example is that nga Senegal gibe because ngam follow ko Senegal a Gambia bena bopala kendu muna har ñaar e ka wala fo nga gibe Pastef inata ñaadile Pastef molbe because Senegal ya lone ko no batata le Senegal mo disaf kaje ko Senegal dunda men kono manyana dunda kono so banko leje ibe tata rally on behind Pastef and ya kemen kam apotale but Gambia bi jumal be siring political party hande ka fo molen hani NPP UDP le wartat hani NPP UDP le wartat why not other political parties cannot come together to rally behind UDP kaje ko ngabonyi masakunda jawobut. But UMC ibe men focal la faka wala sembentu yandi because nte kay mom akakenye ni ku yalde nato ala en to bendi nyame ando ko la fana be bota kiyanne ngate mba badi mun ko la sola la kilinga dronga daha so but la ko be nyame imaje ala diamo fan kono ani Suleiman Sahola debate ni in kerefatu bayo mole me hakilo tuje bon nga moy la interview nyin kono ako na ibebi tala la baro kan afo jele
na afo jele
afo jele ha bon
mbakuntulale yalo
mun nga moy le mo jamal ma moy nak because mun tam interview nyin diamo la
so nka jele fo mole. And it's high time we understand. Let me tell you something. You see, there is no condition me along go well you'll know why they join the Baroka. And I want Gambian to understand this. So what it's high time now understand. Okay? For me, already yes, there are parties many along they're willing, ready to join UDP for the change. But even whereas if those parties did not join us, okay, my stand is very clear. Okay, the stand is very, very clear. And my stand is this: we are going to fight. We are going to make sure we reach every corner of this country.
Exactly.
And we will make sure we talk to the youths from Ninkaolu. We will make sure we talk to the elders. We will make sure we will talk to every section of society in this country and inform them. You see, ale yotombong o ale dunule kan o ale wakili ni fento ni ba kela ya yanta kelele anyama ni yake yenyo ke akola obula alabulu
no but
satara ala ya lonko iye kata ko kele
no nte mutala bake kela robot la faka men fo wolen ko Gambia ikayen sifaje han ma nta fala fa Africa ikayen sifaje Gambia bake Gambia no ma fa bede na Gambia na Gambia nundo kebal na Gambia nundo kebal ye Gambia je bake bar science Gambia be namen ay direction o bulala Gambia no atetita barata monyo bulala ita mun alabe kairol nat law bankoka. That's number one. And number two, memu wala kontela nte be doyata nyawnya fendem bulu nte manke fenti bari mbe na kuma kan dinne kila ela platform orja at aning mulmen political party dolto ya moy ndol tuba du ndol be tuba du nyawnya Gambia mun na miroti niaje ndol ba kino ninga mol je live drum fana na kuma ningo faye wala ko Gambia lem ndol be jang ma fa be bare mo jama be tuba du jam bi ndol ka Gambia ndol ka Gambia la mira ngo Cameroonian ol be janne bayo ndol nin Cameroonian ol be janne nin Nigeria ol be jam bari asken ofan nka kodo men soto na doku dal wala ka sietol boy dol ka good living men soto jang ndol je sort no why because ndol ka jelo ko Gambia no na kodo hafo be mu suko no nin karo fata emira suko no lete ka fele ko hannata nte domoro ko dam mambe wala sot la jang ndol Gambia no ndol tuba ndol ba mira mo la fo Gambia nin Gambia no fana yo loy fanfe be bataringe ni amaro ja fintle ka mol men ja no me ka fo nyuno etul yamera ko nyim balu sifa ka tara bula kam mono maten this is normal nyim man normal ndol bon na af obang ka nim fe man na jam bi ntata fo mo jamal ben kono yejanding kaydol soto tubabol ya betin amanke ko dolle barakatan ngamentu Africa wala amanke ko dolle fisara ngamentu Africa boda kedal tronko harma de nibe dunia kono ite bulala mo kilin no me yara ko wala nyanda ketla balwo falik iniyo lela ko nimba ko falinta guru abero soto bari UMC call nte nge mutada me nge bondi jele ibe men ko to wolan ko itoltita bar UDP kanata andung Gambia no nyanda ke hakilo tu ba ke tole itol yalo ne ko itolte any crowd pool la in Gambia more than UDP bota dame it is better nara ko e banko leje e mantre function kunkilin na fala. Let them come and rally behind UDP or ye murna and political parties nko alga Gambia je ka foko nga Gambia ja kana de dato ngana ngala political party bakan ko banku dol ka nyamen ko mbakeli na signol Senegal ya ke nyamen the past election. Let them come ka foko ha no numbers political numbers ni ajal kata electoral. It is because of numbers like a bring the numbers like a difference in that. So political party me warta ngana nga lekang akana ke hasidiati nga bonni sondomol kon nimma bonni sondomol kono ibe mbe balula wala nya ngafa na banko fa bayo. I thank you very much mbe konto mbe la alama ala e mendi gambenol nyaato ama ngayin kelo nga kontin ala baraka mbe mobe ko na mbe la vi wasol konto na alama ala e Cairo ke Gambia ni sawo mendi alama ala ya Kenya baraka.
Baraka Bake, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, Baraka Bake, thank you so much. So guys, Salosita, Mitala Salola Sai, is almost 2 in the Gambia. But like I said, Banku Kolem, we will always do our part. In the normal we're tiring. Like I said, we know there are problems. As we know there are problems. Among didn't Kalabanta will Milialum Kalatila, Jamalaja Kalatila. Understand? So it's all about that. But like I said, I'll look at your mentor, Dipidea, Gulbo Dipidea, I will go Moella. Also, the day I will go so no diamond rolling into Cofanata, another college to look on a Collegiabula. But no, the day I will go Moella Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera. I will go Moella World. Uncasual Al Jazeera. We think sometimes Mogamber, you people are intelligent, but you people, you people lack the intelligence. I told you insist what wrong. I told you that wrong. Kalka Mole Haklo Dom. Dibite ya tulu bo mo la Jazeera dibite ya an kansulu ya tulu bo mo la Jazeera ndala nyum faale ala safe because the party you people are that party. I mean, come on, we must be very realistic in this. Anun ko kile ba yo la yalong comme ngam fo jamali beje etolu no, it's very disappointing. It's very, 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 very disappointing. They know the reality, they know the fact, but yet still they want to keep denying the truth. So, ndoge ipemela niano esavero ke janiba flo ko bella lu niano ite kaite to savero. You keep writing. You just keep writing. You just keep writing. Continuous writing, rubbish if you want. But Google never you will go. Nothing can change that. You know, if you people think on Tolu, our focus is just to win the election. That's fine. That's okay. But Google we are going to be on the ballot. But UDP is going to be on the ballot, inshallah. And however, the election might be, we are not going to score nothing less than 200,000. Inshallah, free and fair election, we are going to win. What I see, we win, inshallah. But according to Mako, party old party old even if they have 40,000 votes, the candidate put 40,000 votes, you also can Banco Kanjang. It's not going to happen. And no except if they go and join NPP deputy. But no one to jump back and deputy. Deputy they couldn't even have 2 seats again. I don't 2 seats, but in the deputy 2 seats from my castle in Bangkok and 2 seats. Shiramfula. So now to ali ameno atol be Gambianol toral atol be Gambianol ballal Gambianol men command atol be balanka wala la for your personal interest ndala fala ala se be market kansulo ya mu kansulo ya ndala fala jam kansulo ya jam kansulo ya fo ni kansulo kansulo siran lulu fo so jam ah o da yakatal kansulo siran lulu député ya those parties million dindingol million ko be servero ke kan ndala ya fo ko député ya même député ya ndala fala ala se be député fulani ya so da jam ko to jam fo ya yakatal kansulo ya ni atam lulu yakatal throughout nationwide banko be kan ndala fo presidential election na kita jam if they have even more than 40,000 votes ni aso de banko kanjang ala fu ñu ala fu kurukuru 40,000 votes pour aso de banko kanjang wallahi suma wallahi abentaranda bari mi lekada ko Gambian ko le bari ko UDP le bari because ni ko ka Gambi ni ko ite amel num bimbe tembo men ko to nyame me laring ite ko taka UDP le bari man ta UDP balkande e be Gambia le balkan Gambia Balkan, because you know very well, the only political party in this country, as we are speaking, is close to change. That is UDP. That is UDP. That is UDP, without doubt. The only political party in this country, Momo Yalongo, you are serious. Momo Yalongo, you are seriously concerned about the future of this country. Wallahi, summa wallahi. It like energy you are going to put it. You are going to put it towards UDP. Can make sure energy la UDP la come for us to have the change together collectively. For me, like I said to people, I mean the legal coalition building, for me, for the benefit of Kaji changes sort of. I don't mind. If we can even for example, PDYS Nata. You can even give Ali Basala as the Speaker of the Parliament. And he's going to be a good Speaker of the Parliament. He's going to be a good Speaker of the Parliament. There's no doubt. If you make Ali Basala as the Speaker of the Parliament, all the reforms on left men that being the Speaker of the Parliament is going to help us to make sure no settle. I have no doubt about that. I have no doubt about that. And we can give them few members of, we can give them, some parliamentary seats also. Just for us to have a fair, a fair playing field, a level playing field, a level playing field. But you have seen the Fendi already. Well, they don't deserve to get nada. Well, man, pensoro. Was I saying your love cover woman pensoro? Well, volunteer. But yeah, we'll they aren't part of the discussion yet because we'll move. We'll left like a kinship less samananjang. Kinship, the Fayara movement. The Fayara monarchy movement, they only believe in kinship. Kinship Nimbango is not a king country. Nimbango is a democratic state. It's a democratic state. And it's going to remain democratic. So please, it's not going to happen. King Yaja. Where the queen is going to be the advisor, and the prince is going to be the president. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Where the queen is going to be the queen is going to be the chief advisor, and the prince is going to be the president. Hey, it's not going to happen. And I believe Gambians are never going to do that. So what I do will look among that attire movement is not my problem. That attire movement is not my problem. I know what I know. Let me learn. But quickly when I'm going to do about the attire movement on your and my election go do. But then go do about it. Go do about it and insult the attire movement on you. Put it for a law as the presidential candidate. Go do about it. I really pray for that. I really pray that dua bakele ko kajo the so-called Prince of Fajara monarchy movement nika duale ya bula aylo karte fayola alunka nyimfana duana be kala pati kilim fulati ya kafuma ana be kala pati kilim fulati ya kafuma. That is always my prayers. Manga ka chan na pali me duala bak ya Allah al kafuma be salfana wat lokon me duala pour di Fajara the fire of monarchy movement me ya lon ko abi fon kan amon lo follow ma fo da parti o lo de but alambi dan na masaba masakallanke ila ken nyoning the prince nying be dan la pour ya bulano ya ma ko yado ya ala pour alo president ya nyinola ala be kala parti nim fulade we ka famo alan ke dan wala nyim bodon sonno mo lo kono for the prince of Fajara nyim bodon sonno mo lo kono for the prince of Fajara me ayisi dan na you know registration ko de defem follow de bari mbe ala dan na men wala ñu ko ye qualify to pour lo president ya nyinola la mel lon no lon la mel suude no jël panta wori on tem ko wori la ko la baag ndela fight with them is just coming namul be dal ko la take mislead to inform those people the party supporters of the United Democratic Party call inform so guys bidala salola sign I want to go 2021 bidala salola sign inshallah bari janembe salo to modro be lanson kon ke di la follow lanson kon ke comment va be len do kon la be lanson kon ke la di la follow ale lanson kon la moy and then from there we continue but if not mira salola bari I salo fela sida and I can see mol bejan the program in jibe kanne so I think what we do let me give you the biography of Ousainou Darboe. Yes, biography.
The votes of citizens. So the two of them. The court lawyers who came to do the case, I think one of them was Batan Macaulay, and then there was this other gentleman from Ghana. And the judgment went in favor of Mohamed Sabali. So all the electoral register for the entire, what then was called the protectorate, was unnullified. So it was only the elections of the candidates in the Banjul and 𝒂𝒏 that was upheld, that was done properly. But then, the entire protectorate, the election was declared null and void because the Secretary of State advised Her Majesty the Queen to pass an order in council validating the invalid elections. So contesting elections, the outcome of elections in the Gambia is not new. It has been going on since colonial times. And in Jara's time, there were challenges to elections of candidates. And, what we saw in those days was that candidates for the opposition parties, election their petitions were upheld in some cases. Some others, their elections, their petitions were rejected. People who are contested on government ticket. Like Barbu Central, was a contest on a government ticket. The candidate there was government contested on the government ticket, on the at least the ruling party's ticket. But his petition was dismissed. So others who